Hi, everyone. My name is Adrian with Nanaimo Brain Injury Society, and I'm here with Brit, the Executive Director at VIVRS. And today we're going to do a little information session just to get a better understanding of the services offered by Work BC and VIVRS, but I will let Brit get into that. So welcome, Brit.
Great. Thanks so much, Adrian. So I guess I'll start off by just saying hello and welcome to any listeners of this brief presentation on VIVRS services. So as Adrian already said, my name is Brit Lowe, and I am the new Executive Director at Vancouver Island Vocational and Rehabilitation Services, from here on out referred to as VIVRS. I've been with VIVRS for over 7 years, and I'm really excited to be presenting on what we've been offering for many years, and we'll continue to offer members of the community seeking employment. I guess so let's jump right in. I'd like to start off with a quick introduction to VIVRS. So who are we? VIVRS has been operating on Vancouver Island since 1993. We are celebrating our 30th year of providing services to individuals who face barriers to employment. Super exciting. We are a dynamic agency passionate about delivering professional and creative employment services to individuals. Most of our services are one-to-one and tailored to meet the specific needs of the individuals we are serving. As our mission, VIVRS is committed to providing services that promote the right of every individual to economic and social integration and inclusion in their own community, encouraging contribution in a manner that promotes individual choice. All right, so what do we offer? For a quick overview of our services here, currently, VIVRS is delivering Work BC services in Nanaimo and Courtenay. We specialize in delivering specific portions of Work BC services to job seekers with barriers to employment. Specifically, VIVRS is subcontracted to provide Work BC discovery and customized employment services, and we'll be jumping into learning more about these shortly. Across Vancouver Island, we are also now offering a range of vocational assessments, both on a contractual or private referral basis, and for clients referred by Work BC. These include vocational interest, academic achievement and aptitude assessments, and transferable skills analysis. The assessments can be done in person or online and are particularly beneficial for persons with diverse abilities, newcomers who have limited Canadian experience or skills, as well as any other multiple barriered client, especially in the context of determining suitability to return to work or explore a different career direction. Additionally, VIVRS has just recently secured new funding to deliver a program focusing on pre-employment supports and/or skills training for employment for persons with multiple barriers. We are sort of in the midst of having our advertising approved, so I can't say much more now, but please stay tuned and reach out if you'd like to know more. I should mention that we'll be providing Nanaimo Brain Injury Society with some program materials very soon to share with some potentially interested clients. So for the rest of the presentation, I'm going to focus on the Work BC services that VIVRS delivers, that being customized employment services. So customized employment services is a specialized Work BC employment services program that is funded by the Government of Canada and the province of BC. VIVRS has been delivering customized employment services in various regions on Vancouver Island since 2008. And as already noted, we are currently subcontractors of Work BC in Nanaimo and Courtenay for this service. So let's get into details about it a bit more. Customized employment is the most flexible approach to job search within Work BC employment services. It involves the creation of unique employment opportunities based on best match scenarios between a client and an employer. At the onset of the program, a client is matched with one of VIVR's customized employment coordinators who will work with the client throughout the entire program. And it includes the following components. We have the discovery assessment, the employment profile, Customized employment development parts 1 and 2, or that's really the job search phase, and the unpaid work experience for eligible clients. So let's dive into these a bit deeper and look at each of the individual components of customized employment. Starting with discovery. Discovery is the first step in the customized employment service. It is a comprehensive community-based assessment process that focuses on determining a client's contributions to the labor market. Through several varied activities, including both familiar and unfamiliar, it seeks to identify the client's interests, skills, environmental preferences, employment goals, and other considerations related to the client's search for employment. And this process leads to the creation of an employment profile. In many ways, discovery is meant to allow us and the client to learn who they truly are and what interests, skills, strengths, and diverse abilities they can offer to the workforce. Most importantly, this process provides us with an opportunity to discover what a client is passionate about. It also helps us to determine their inherent aptitudes or natural abilities, as well as how their disclosed health issues or other noted barriers uniquely impact them and what they need for personal and professional wellness. As previously noted, the discovery process involves completing multiple varied community-based assessment activities with the client. At the end of the discovery process, the client's customized employment coordinator documents their findings in an employment profile. This profile includes detailed information of observation during the client's home visit and neighborhood mapping to initial or starting activities within the assessment phase. It identifies client interests, learning, and communication styles, as well as potential client contributions to an employer and a list of skills, tasks, and activities, as well as desirable conditions of employment. Further, the employment profile identifies environmental preferences, safety considerations, and activities or situations to avoid. Potential additional supports that will be essential to obtain and maintain employment, and if self-employment is considered, the employment profile identifies whether this is a feasible option. The profile also documents at least 3 overriding employment themes based on the discovery process or findings. These are not job descriptions, but rather more broad potential employment environments or activities where clients may be at their best, and that consider an individual's interests, strengths, current skills, contributions, abilities, appropriate working environments, and tasks that can be learned. For each theme, a list of potential employers are summarized. To conclude discovery and the employment profile, the coordinator completes a planning meeting to debrief the discovery findings and establish agreed-to next steps with the client and their support network. Part of those next steps includes establishing whether the client would like to be marketed with the support of a traditional resume or what is known as a representational portfolio, which provides more of a visual approach to introducing the client to the employer with a focus on the contributions a client brings to the workplace. So for eligible clients, and I guess I should quickly say, what's the eligibility for this? To be eligible to engage in a formal unpaid work experience as part of Work BC, a client has to be a recipient of BC employment assistance. So that could be regular income assistance, provincial disability benefits, PPMB, or just having like a medical services only plan, but some type of BC employment assistance case to be eligible. So for eligible clients, an unpaid work experience can be used as part of discovery or customized employment development, which is the second phase of the service. And this is for the purpose of assessment or when the client requires work experience to successfully achieve employment. When used as part of customized employment, the placement focuses on assessing the client's skills, abilities, and challenges, and evaluating potential customized job opportunities. For this reason, an unpaid work experience and customized employment may take place at up to 3 work sites to provide a varied assessment. Normally, unpaid work experiences that are part of discovery or customized employment development are short placements, so that being between 8 and 24 hours. And this is really to accommodate needs, but still get a bit of an assessment. So if a client only has the ability or capacity to trial a work environment for 2 hours a day, then we might set that up for, for 4 days, 2-hour shifts kind of thing, just to get enough to see how it works for the client, but also work within their capacities. And unlike general volunteering, where some individuals may gain experience and build skills, this is more formal, just like an educational practicum. So it involves developing a contract or unpaid work experience agreement between the client and the host employer. It includes an evaluation and review period at the end of the placement, and the client receives WorkSafe BC coverage throughout their placement, which is provided by Work BC. Other benefits of this service include that a client will get to trial a role of interest and learn about whether it is a fit for them. They also get a chance to expand on their professional network through connections they make, which can often be relied on to support future job search efforts. And more often than not, clients gain an employment reference for that placement, which increases their marketability while searching for a new job later in the customized employment program. And though I should say quickly, though it's not the intention of an unpaid work experience, a lot of clients get hired. If it's the right fit, yes, the client has provided their time in exchange for the employer's training and mentoring for a period of however long. If that employer has invested in that individual and they both agree in the end that it's a good fit and the position's available, that employer is going to offer the position to that trained candidate. So we see that a lot, though the purpose of a work experience is for assessment. So after the discovery process and the employment profile are completed, the customized employment coordinator will support clients and work with employers to identify and create new jobs, carve existing jobs by negotiating to rearrange work tasks, or explore self-employment opportunities that are customized to the individual needs of a client. This is the customized employment development phase of the program. Again, I referenced sort of job search, but it's so much more than job search. But really, to keep things simple, this is the job search employment focus phase of the program. Technically, there are 2 parts of this phase. For customized employment development part 1, the focus is to provide services to clients up to and including identifying a suitable employment or self-employment opportunity. Specifically, Part 1 services include networking on behalf of the client to establish potential job opportunities, meeting and arranging potential employers to market client skills, arranging interviews between the employer and the client that meets the needs of both parties, and educating the employer on inclusive practices as necessary. Once a sustainable employment opportunity has been identified, customized employment development part 2 begins, and the customized employment coordinator will negotiate the terms of employment by defining the job description to include job carving aspects and any accommodations required, ensuring provision of WorkSafe coverage, and discussing and/or negotiating for the inclusion of natural on-site supports for training and/or job retention. As part of Work BC Employment Services, all case managed clients who secure sustainable employment, that being it meets their goals, are eligible to receive job sustainment services for up to 52 weeks or 1 year to support job retention. For customized employment clients, comprehensive services are available and may include activities such as direct contact with the employer to assist in resolving any workplace conflict or issues, on-site job coaching by the customized employment coordinator to assist with workplace orientation or training, coordination of on-site job accommodation, supports, learning or adaptive aids, and providing ongoing encouragement and support, and transitioning the client to other supports as needed. I was going to clarify, because you'll hear this a lot at Work BC. What do we mean by sustainable employment, or on a broader level, a sustainable outcome? Basically, the outcome, whether that be a paid position or what is termed a community attachment, which is a supported volunteer placement for those whose goal is to build on their employment readiness, the outcome needs to align with the client's vocational goal or goals, including such details as wage and hours, assuming those are partly defined by what the client would need to financially sustain themselves or be financially independent. Now, before I switch over to touch on eligibility, I want to make a quick note on other services at Work BC while just sitting with this slide. So customized employment clients may benefit from other services at Work BC to complement their participation in the program, as well as to support them in addressing the goals and steps outlined within their Work BC action plan. Though service eligibility is based on client need and Work BC policy, other services, and I should mention that this isn't an extensive list, but other services may include personal counseling for employment readiness with a registered clinical counselor or qualified professional to address personal challenges and support personal development. Financial supports. These are varied and may be for program participation, training, job search activities, and/or job start or job sustainment needs. A client might benefit from general or basic skills or specialized assessments to further inform on their skill development or health-related needs, such as required accommodations that may be more challenging to assess for and/or identify within the customized employment program. A client might require a referral to assistive technology services for access to employment-related disability supports to address identified barriers to job search, training, and sustainment, such as adaptive aids. Or they may benefit from wage subsidy services, which provides funding to an eligible employer to subsidize a client's wage as an incentive for the employer to hire and provide work experience and on-the-job training to the individual requiring work experience. And ultimately, this is all just to say that there are a range of services that may be available to a client who engages in the customized employment program, whether that be prior to program start, during their participation, or within their period of job sustainment. And access to these is determined through the development of a comprehensive and holistic action plan. So let's talk about eligibility. Who is eligible for customized employment? Well, service eligibility, at least defined by Work BC policy, is quite broad, and to that point, inclusive, as it should be. That definition is case-managed clients who require a higher level of intensive services are eligible for customized employment services. The only obvious consideration here is that the client must be case managed through Work BC to access customized employment. So with that in mind, basic Work BC employment services eligibility includes that a client must be a BC resident, provide proof of identity, meet the criteria for unemployed or precariously employed, and I would say these definitions are quite broad, be legally eligible to work in BC, be seeking employment, and be assessed as requiring services to successfully achieve employment. To access case management services, a job seeker must contact their local Work BC Centre to complete registration and book in for an intake. Once client eligibility has been confirmed and intake completed, the client need and suitability for customized employment services will be further assessed by the Work BC case manager through a phase called the Client Needs Assessment. So for getting connected, I have included the contact details for the Work BC Centre in Nanaimo on the left hand of the screen. And the prime contractor or main contractor there is Maximus Canada Employment Services. A little confusing, right? Maximus Canada holds the contract, but they deliver Work BC services. VIVRS is subcontracted. We deliver a portion or a specialized portion of Work BC services in Nanaimo. The center for the Work BC Centre is located at 101-155 Skinner Street, known as the Cliff Centre building, right across from the Old City Pub downtown. I've also included on the right VIVRS contact details in Nanaimo, where our head office is located. We are in the same building as the Work BC Centre, though we are on the second floor at number 203-155 Skinner Street. And actually, I should mention that our customized employment coordinators, a team of 3 in Nanaimo, are located on the main floor of the Work BC Centre. We have individual offices there in the center, which is good. And I'll just mention that VIVRS hours are Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 4 p.m. If there are any questions, please reach out to our main office line or office email there on the screen. And, please, you can ask for Brit or Natasha. Natasha is our manager of programs. And yeah, we'd be happy to address any questions or follow up as needed. That brings us to the end of the presentation. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. I think this will be a really beneficial tool for our team at the Brain Injury Society. And if anyone does have any questions for either myself or for Brit, please feel free to reach out. Thank you for joining us on this little info session. Have a good day. Bye now.